Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know, my name's Joe, and today we're going to talk about what having a disorganized attachment style did to my relationships. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's different styles of attachment. You've got secure, which tends to be people from relationships, so where your mother and father were together, or at least you had a mother and father figure in your household that were together and you seem like a healthy connection. You've got avoidant. Avoidants tend to be from households where their parents were emotionally unavailable, and that's something that I really resonate with. You've got anxious. Anxious tends to be from people who grew up where their parents showed them love and then they pulled away, showed them love. So they never know when that love's going to disappear. So in later life, you might start showing someone some affection. They get quite anxious around that because they think that your love's going to disappear. You're going to be taken away from them. And then a disorganized attachment is a combination of those two together, so anxious and avoidant, and that's where I am. And I'm just turned 38, so I've had 37 years of failed relationships basically. And a lot of it is, well, all of it is to do with my attachment style. So the main traits that I show are people pleasing. So when I first meet someone, because I'm a little bit anxious, I people please. I give them too much time and attention way too soon before I've really got to know them. And that leads to a whole host of like bad relationships down the line, because quite a lot of times I'm not really assessing whether they're going to be a good fit for me. I'm too concentrated on making sure they want me rather than me assessing them to make sure they're a suitable partner for me. I lose myself in relationships. So I'll get like 6 months down the line, and where the honeymoon period's finished, I then start to think this person isn't fulfilling me. And then I'm trying to make it work, but we haven't really set the foundations. And quite frankly, at the beginning, I didn't even know my own needs in a relationship. So how was anybody else supposed to fulfill my needs? Not setting boundaries. Again, when you don't know your needs, how do you then set boundaries to make sure those needs are met? You can see this is all like snowballing just from not really understanding yourself. I think that's it. I'm just checking my notes there to make sure I've captured everything. I think that's it really with those. But how these traits showed up for me. So this is a typical relationship for me, and this has pretty much been all my relationships. I meet someone, they're great people, don't get me wrong. My selection, I feel like, is good. But just being in their presence makes me feel so good. I get so overwhelmed and like so happy with how the newness of the relationship feels, because you go into new places, you're getting to know them, and you're always just having a laugh at the start, and it's all fun and games. You might be introduced into their friends, into their family, and quite frankly, you could do that with your worst enemy and have a great time. So it's no shock that that would make anybody feel great. But in that first moment, that first sort of, like I say, first moment, probably first, I don't know, maybe 3 to 6 months, instead of me assessing that person and saying, okay, well, are they going to meet my needs, I'm just like so happy with them being them and the way they're making me feel. We're just cracking on. And then what happens is we get maybe 6 months, a year down the line, and then I tend to start resenting them because I'm like, they're not fulfilling my needs. They're not making me feel whole. And I wasn't necessarily breaking it down in terms like this because I didn't even know my own needs. But I was left feeling very rejected. I was left feeling that they didn't fulfill me. And I didn't really know why at the time. So, yeah, that's how those traits showed up for me. And it does all make sense. And when you explain it like this, it sounds really simple. Like you must know your own needs initially, and then you take things slow and you get to know them properly. Um, but ultimately, the cost has been, particularly in the last sort of 15 years, basically, I've been in two serious relationships. Both great people. Like, I've not got a bad word to say about them. But what tends to happen is we have that year period at the start where we just like loving being in each other's company. the dust settles a little bit, we might move in together, or things get a bit more serious in one way, shape, or form. There's some sort of conflicts going on, we're having disagreements or arguments about certain things, which is normal. And then that leads to me then pulling away. So I'll go from being quite anxious at the start, where I need their love, and then halfway through, then we all start getting into conflicts, and I'm feeling resentful because they're not fulfilling me, and then I become avoidant, where I want to pull away. And what tends to happen then is your partner, because they're quite invested at that point, they feel you pulling away, and then they become anxious and they want more connection from you. And it's like they're chasing you for more connection, and you're pulling further away, and they're chasing you, pulling further away. And it's really, really an unhealthy sort of cycle to be in. Very, very common, mind you, extremely common. So, yeah, if any of that resonates with you, the good news is you can work through it. And I have been with Dan Learn. He's not a therapist. He's more like an online coach. I say an online coach, more like how would you describe him? Like a life coach. I think that's probably the best way to describe him. And he has changed my life, honestly. He does a 4-month program, and I'm not even all the way through it. I'm about 3 months through it, and I'm a completely different person. And I've just started dating again recently, and I'm dating from a much more secure place. I've actually recently been on a date with someone, got on really, really well. The vibe was there, connection was there, like I fancied them. And now I'm not with them. Like normally I would have this like anxiety, like I want to text them all the time, want to keep the connection going, worried they're gonna like run off or get bored of me. I've got none of that. I'm honestly so chilled about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we'll see them again and see if they're as good as they was last time. I know that some time needs to pass. And while the time is passing, I'm assessing them to make sure they're a good fit for me, because that's what dating is. I'm up for, I don't want to like strategize the whole thing so much where we don't enjoy ourselves or we don't want to have fun. But ultimately, that's what dating is. Like, I still want to go away and have good fun, have a laugh, be flirtatious. You need all of that stuff. But ultimately, we're there to like weigh each other up and to make sure we're a really, really good fit. But if any of that has resonated, contact my coach Dan. Honestly, I'll leave his link down below. Also, watch my other videos, because I spoke about all the stuff that I've been doing to heal my attachment issues and to heal my childhood trauma. And it's been life-changing, like I say. If you're watching this video because you haven't got anyone that you can talk to about this sort of stuff, or you don't think anyone gets it, I've created a group called the Brotherhood of Depth. Join it. It's free. It's going to be a safe space where we can talk about this sort of stuff. And I want it to be a space where, like the place where I'm at now, where I'm feeling pretty healed, I won't be putting my problems in the group, but I'll be able to be in the group and help other people. And I want that to be the natural progression, because there's nothing better than, after you've done the work, than giving someone else some advice or telling them your story. So it's really, really powerful for me. Something I really struggled with was having that connection with other males that I could talk about this sort of stuff with. I can go to the pub and talk about all sorts of laddie stuff, sports, girls, parties, all the rest of it. I could do that all day long, but I didn't really have the connections to have these more deeper chats, and that was really important for me, and it's been a big part of my healing journey. So yeah, hit up the link below. Like I say, it's free. There's nothing to lose. There's also the links in there to all my meditations, breath work, journal prompts, all the other good stuff that I've been doing during this healing journey. So take advantage of that. It's all free stuff. It's going to be in there. And yeah, please do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.